Stage 1. You just downloaded Clash of Clans. You probably saw it in an ad or someone told you about it and you thought you would finally give it a try. Burrito? What is this game? So you go through the basics. You're doing everything the tutorial says, exactly how it says to do it. You name your village some random name you'll probably find really stupid later. And you go hit some goblin maps. You're like, okay, I think this is what the tutorial said I was supposed to do, so I'm gonna do it. Now, a lot of people quit at this stage. Some don't even make it through the tutorial. And I'm sure you've been there. You download a game, play for 5 or 20 minutes, and then uninstall it. You just decide that this game isn't for you. So stage 1 certainly weeds out a lot of players who aren't into the genre or thought Clash of Clans was something else. Stage 2. So you stuck around, you enjoyed the tutorial, and at this point you're invested. You dabble with a little bit of multiplayer attacks for the first time and start to understand the core gameplay loop. You're like, okay, you steal loot and build a village. Got it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You might even learn a thing or two about attacks, like dropping barbarians before archers so they aren't blasted by a mortar immediately. The basics, This is also the stage where you start to tap on anything and everything. You're trying to figure out the game. A gem store? Why would anyone spend money on a mobile game? You also notice a lot of features that are locked. You might also begin to get on intentionally after seeing a notification for an upgrade or a new building that just finished. It's like one adrenaline rush after another whenever you discover or unlock something new. However, this rapid progression is a gift and a curse because when things start slowing down, like upgrades taking hours instead of minutes, or needing to attack a lot more to afford an upgrade, that instant gratification slowly fades, and so does interest in the game. I like to call this stage the 1 week phase. Players are initially hooked, but might uninstall days later. Others, however, will embrace the grind and stick around onto stage 3. This isn't just a phase anymore, you're hooked for real. It's no longer a game you only play on the toilet, it's a hobby. You start playing around with different troops, learning basic synergies like giant and healer, and you feel like you got it. You might even mess around with designing your own base or Google one because you realize your base sucks. This is also the expansion phase. You probably now have the builder base, clan capital, and clan games unlocked, so you join a clan so you can actually participate in those things and socialize. And you keep going. You start to learn the perk system, donations, maybe even dabble a little into clan wars and clan war league. And you start to realize just how deep the game goes. And so at this stage, some players may get overwhelmed. They don't particularly understand how all of these features work yet, but they determine that this isn't a honeymoon phase. I actually enjoy the game, and so I'm going to keep at it. Stage 4. This is the moment where players officially become a casual player. They have a decent understanding of the game. They are regularly getting on during lunch breaks or a few hours a week, and they may even make their first purchase to get another builder, using Code Havoc, of course. What's another $1, right? It's one heck of a deal. They're practically giving it away. By this point, they've also unlocked a bunch of interesting tools, like they now have several heroes, maybe all of them, several equipment, siege machines, pets, depending on where they are in their progress. But they may not know how to properly use all that stuff yet. They've tried to make their own armies or use some from the cookbook, but don't quite get how you're supposed to execute them. And so they may go on YouTube looking up attack tutorials and apply that to their own attacks. They've expanded their Clash knowledge. Now, a lot of players never move on from this stage, regardless of what town hall they're at. They remain casuals, attacking here and there, watching the occasional tutorial, participating in some events. Because at the end of the day, Clash is just something you pass time with. But other players want something more. There is a scratch yet to be itched. This is stage 5. This is the stage where a casual realizes he's not moving as fast as he wants, so he becomes a grinder, putting in a lot more time into the game and finding ways to progress faster. Their builders are never sleeping, they save gems to upgrade their helpers, they start participating in more clan wars and actually going for the extra clan games reward. There's a whole portion of the game yet to be discovered and they want to reach it. At this stage, it may also be the most tempting to make that first purchase outside of of builders, particularly the Gold Pass. The game has been up your butt with discounts left and right, up and down, so you might finally do it. With the amount of time you've invested into the game, you think it's well worth the cost to significantly boost your progression. At this stage, you may also find enjoyment from collecting cosmetics. You've been grinding all these events and the pass, and you might gather a decent collection of skins and decorations, and you consider these tokens of your never-ending grind. Indeed, the grind never stops. And because of that, this is a stage that a lot of players never leave as well. A lot of us are just trying to progress through the game, and that's it. There's no more stages. You may not be losing sleep over it or anything, it's not that deep, but it's certainly become a habit to log on at least several times a week. Stage 6. At this stage, you've likely already been playing a lot. Maybe more than you should, but that's alright. You enjoy the game. It's your passion. Yeah, what you said. Leave me alone. But you want to take it to the next level. You're tired of spamming the same troops all the time. Now, you want to get good. You don't want to just attack. You want to know how the attack works. So, you search up tutorials for advanced strategies, how to funnel properly, the best synergies, hero ability timing. You're now also copying the best bases you can find on the internet. I like to call this the self-improvement phase. You realize you don't just want to play the game, you want to be good at it. And at this point, for the first time in their journey, players might actually care about balance changes, the meta, and they might even take up trophy pushing. They're also learning new terminology: charge, hydra, walk, dive, sui, blip. What in the world are you talking about? This is the stage where you certainly have a meta awakening, if you will. But there's still tons of learning to do, and you'll likely be perfecting your skills for a while. Stage 7. You're now a competitive player. You can consistently 3-star any base layout by just looking at it and planning it in your head. This is serious stuff. Because failing a clan war attack or not getting a perfect legend day is only something a noob would do. But in all seriousness, this is the stage where players look at every form of attack as a challenge. If it has some form of a leaderboard attached to it, oh, it's on. They might even switch clans to be surrounded by other players who take the game just as serious as they do. This is the point where Clash becomes less of a chill game and more of a performance-based game. I'm in it to win. They want to be regarded as a good player, maybe even a pro. Because while Stage 6 was all about self-improvement, Stage 7 is mostly about validation and competition. Stage 8. This is where the grind finally catches up. After one continuous power trip, Clash starts to feel like a chore. Wars feel stressful instead of fun, events feel like the same old shenanigans, and you've been taking breaks. This is the burnout phase. While this can happen at any point in your journey, I feel like this typically happens after exhausting every other avenue to seek further excitement. You wanted to unlock all the cool stuff, so you started playing too much. You wanted to get good, so you became way too invested in attack strategies. And that led to you becoming competitive, and all of a sudden it wasn't about having fun, it was about the results. So to combat burnout, you tried to switch things up, use different troops, equipment, maybe even buy a scenery or two so you have something else to look at, but it doesn't work. So you take more breaks. You start playing other games, you get kicked out of the clan for an activity, you're rusting, man. Now, the burnout phase usually leads to two different paths. You either never get on again, or you do. Like Albert Einstein once said, you don't quit Clash of Clans, dude, you just take breaks. So, if you're currently in this stage, whether it's been a week or months, I just want to say, enjoy the break. It's healthy. Because when you do come back, you'll find that that fire you once had for the game has been relit. Stage 9. So, you've now been through a bunch of stages. You've grinded, you got a little competitive, and you quit a couple times, but you're back. And eventually, at some point in your journey, you'll reach the end game. This is when there's very little, if not nothing to do. Congratulations, you're max, dude. Go home. You beat Clash of Clans. But really, because of updates, you won't always be maxed. But being in the end game is certainly a unique experience. You might be sitting around with max storages, waiting for very long upgrades or the next update. You've officially hit the now what stage. So at this point, it's not uncommon to want to make more accounts if you haven't already. You want something fresh to do in the meantime, so you go back to basics, you know? Or maybe you lean into features you neglected this entire time. The builder base, client capital. This stage is very much a point where players try to keep themselves busy with not much to do. And fortunately, these days, it's not so bad. You got the seasonal defenses, supercharges, and a bunch of cosmetics to grind for. Now, this is typically where the road splits into two. You either stay here and this is the last stage, you're a veteran, you know, you get to say cool things like, back in my day, or you move on to stage 10. So, you're seasoned. You've been through the game from start to finish and went through all the stages probably multiple times, and you got the gray hairs to prove it. So, you begin to explore ways to enjoy the game beyond the game. Whoa, dude, what does that even mean? Like content creation or getting involved in esports. Now, these things are certainly not something you exclusively do after all the stages. Personally, I've been creating content since like stage 3, just a rush little noob, you know? However, the years of experience and extreme passion for this game makes some players think, I don't just want to play the game anymore, I want to be part of the ecosystem. Perhaps you got what it takes to be on that stage in the Worlds, competing with the best players in the world. Or you just want to create videos teaching beginner tips or advanced strategies for players looking to improve their skills. Because for some, eventually Clash stops being just some game and becomes a community that you contribute to. So yeah, those are what I call the 10 stages of every Clash of Clans player. Like I've said a couple times, not every player will go through these in order, you know, that's not the intent. You might jump from stage 6 to 8 or even skip some or go down stages. Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. But yeah, let me know down below what stage you are currently in. I'd love to know. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and I'll see you guys in the next one.